As many of you on this channel know by now, I am a Nintendo fanboy. Not to the point where I refuse to criticize the company when they make stupid mistakes, but their games throughout my life and to this day sparks a happiness in me that is simply unrivaled by anybody else. On top of that, my biggest passion in general is music. It is my major after all. As a result, there aren't many things that excite me as much as a new Super Smash Bros. Soundtrack, a collection of hundreds of both newly recorded and previously arranged songs from Nintendo's history, as well as a few highly notable third-party series as well. So to celebrate the coming of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I'll be releasing a new video series where I detail 10 brand new songs I would like to see appear in the game from a specific series. I'll talk a little bit about the track I chose and which stages I'd like to see it on, and then I'll shut up for a bit and let you guys listen. For the pilot, I of course have to start with my favorite series, Metroid. Fitting, considering I got into the series because of Super Smash Bros. Melee. I'm putting this as an honorable mention because it technically doesn't fit the criteria of a brand new song. This track is a new arrangement of the Parasite Queen battle from Metroid Prime, which first appeared in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. This track has always been one of my favorites though, and the faster tempo coupled with the harder percussion and the screeching guitars make this ripe to smash somebody to. An alternate version of this appeared in the final release of Metroid Prime Hunters as well, during the fire and ice spawn fights, but they lack a lot of the punchier instruments used in the demo version, and it overall just feels much weaker as a result. I'd like to see this get a new arrangement, but I would be just fine with having the original featured too. This one would definitely play on Frigador. Would you believe me if I told you that Super Metroid, one of the most critically acclaimed video games of all time, only has 2 songs total in the entire Super Smash Bros. Series? To be fair to Super Metroid, there aren't many tracks in that game that fit the atmosphere of smashing your opponents across the screen, and the few tracks that do in my opinion are outclassed by many others throughout the Metroid series. This track, however, is an exception and would make for an excellent remix. As you'll notice, I'm using the Zero Mission arrangement of this theme, as this is roughly the tempo and style of percussion I would like to apply, but the quality is much too rough to simply port over. This track could fit on pretty much any of the current Metroid stages. Metroid Prime Federation Force isn't great, and that applies for its soundtrack as well, which mostly comprises of a generic Hollywood-esque space opera style score trying very hard not to be Star Wars. While it's mostly bland and forgettable, however, though, there are a few gems hidden in between the cracks, and Mainframe Phase 2 is one of these gems, and also doubles as a track I think would work on a new Metroid stage, assuming it doesn't have anything to do with acid or lava. This one doesn't need a new arrangement in my opinion. I think we'll do just fine ported over. Just a heads up, Metroid Prime 2 is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, so this won't be the last time it shows up. Out of all the mini-boss themes in the Prime trilogy, this is by far my favorite one and can be passed off as a main boss theme to the unfamiliar. On one hand, I'd like to see this theme rearranged, but on the other, I don't know how it could be topped, so I'm indifferent in the end. This would play exclusively on Frigate Orphan nonetheless. Told ya. The placement of this track affirms the sentiment that this is not a favorite tracks list, as this is my favorite Metroid song period, yet it's not my #1 pick because I think there are other songs that better fit Smash's atmosphere. This song would have a half arrangement like its Prime 1 predecessor from Brawl, and would also play on the Frigate Orphan stage. Metroid Prime, the highest selling Metroid game of all time, has one new arrangement in Super Smash Bros., and that one new arrangement still mostly uses the same instruments as the original. So it's time for something brand new. This theme is perfect for a new arrangement. It appears in all 3 entries in the Prime trilogy, however I think the Prime 1 style is more effective ultimately, as none of the other variants depict the sinister nature of the space pirates in quite this way. This is yet another pick that would be perfect for Frigate Orphan. While last year's Metroid Samus Returns was a remake of Metroid 2, the game also featured quite a bit of original music as well, not present in the original. The Chazo Laboratory theme is among my favorites of these, and I think a straight port of it would be a fantastic way to reference Samus's great comeback. I would love this to play on a new stage, however I think it could also suit Brinstar and Norfair quite well. Obviously, Sector 1 is the most well-known track from Metroid Fusion, and its inclusion in Brawl made sense. But anybody that's played Fusion would agree that the perfect track to bring to Smash is the Serris boss battle. Another track I could see playing on either an original stage or on Norfair. Obviously, this theme simply must be remixed if it comes back, since the GBA hardware quality is so muddy. We need more final boss themes for Smash Bros. In general, not just in Metroid. But since Metroid doesn't have any final boss themes in Smash yet, my top choice has to go to the finale of the Metroid Prime 1 fight. The theme is ridiculously intense and exerts so much personality between Samus and Prime, almost as if it is foreshadowing something in the near future. This theme could play on Frigate Orphan, I guess, but the perfect use for it would be on a new stage based on Phase. Either a remix or a port would suffice. The other great thing about Samus Returns coming out, besides the possibility of its original music in Smash, is the possibility of some Metroid 2 remixes finally. Metroid 2 has always been somewhat of a black sheep in the Metroid series, and as such got little to no recognition in Super Smash Bros. However, now that a Metroid 2 remake is the most relevant game in the Metroid series, and is also simultaneously garnering universal praise, now is the perfect time to get some Metroid 2 representation for Smash. The perfect theme from that game to use is the main tunnel theme. However, I'd go a step further and incorporate another fantastic piece, being the last Metroid theme, turning this remix into a medley. This could easily work on either Brinstar, Norfair, or hopefully an original stage based on Samus Returns. I already made an insanely popular video on how you could create an original moveset for Dark Samus if she were to ever be included in Super Smash Bros. What I didn't mention in that video, however, was stage and music options. While I won't go into too much detail on the stage since, spoilers, I'm planning on doing a dedicated video to locations I want to see in the future, I will say that the obvious choice is Planet Phase, as mentioned in one of my previous other choices. And of course, if we're going to have a playable Dark Samus, Echo or not, and a home stage to accompany her, we have to have her main boss theme thundering through our sound setups. This one has to be remixed, and I even have a specific genre I want to see it covered in, being industrial metal. This isn't too far-fetched considering both of the new Metroid arrangements for Smash Ultimate use prolific use of electric guitar. I made a mashup of the Echoes and Corruption variants of the Dark Samus theme, along with Vomitron's metal cover, to demonstrate roughly how I'd like to see it sound like. And yes, I'll be releasing a full version later, just like all my other mashups. There you have it, guys. 10 Metroid songs plus one honorable mention I want to see in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What did you think? Did I nail the choices? Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments below and tell me what Metroid songs you want to see in Ultimate. I have at least a couple more of these planned, but if you guys enjoyed enough, I might cover even more serious music. Nonetheless, you can expect a lot more Hype Smash content from me in the future. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you hated the video, subscribe to my channel. See you next mission!